I started on the East Coast and moved my way west. So finally in California, my favorite. And Todd and Jade came to visit for the weekend, which has been really fun. And Todd's here too. And it's been really nice to hang out with them. And so Jade wanted to see what the hoopla was all about and what you're all doing here. She's like, what are they doing here? Are they here to see Jade? Yeah! That's what she said. She's like, are they here to see me? I said, probably. Probably, yep. So anyway, this is my 6th book, and this one is really all about easy cooking for weeknights, and inspired by Jade herself, because honestly, for the first few years of her life, she ate everything Mommy said. And then we turned a corner about a year ago where she felt like she had her own mind, and she would decide what it was she wanted to eat. And so I had to come up with a lot more creative ways to get her interested in weeknight meals. And so that's really what this book is all about. And that's why there's so many photos of Jade in the book, which I know a lot of people on this book tour have said how much they've enjoyed seeing all those photos of Jade and Todd and my sister and my nephew Julian. And truly it's because it wouldn't be fair not to have her in the book, because she is the inspiration for this book. I think it can go both ways. I will be honest, there are times where I do hide things. Okay. Spinach is one of those things that I don't know that there are many children that enjoy spinach. Jade is one of those children who does not like spinach. Yeah. So I do put them in things like frittatas and meatballs and things of that nature. Okay. But she does eat broccoli, and she does eat green beans, and she does eat some vegetables. Okay. And so she knows about eating vegetables. I also do my best to make vegetables taste good, because a lot of parents don't make them taste good, and I think that's why, like, I know with Todd, you know, broccoli was brown and it wasn't very interesting looking nor tasting, so Todd grew up thinking, I don't really like broccoli. But I think if you can make it tasty, then it's good. Yeah. But I do hide a few things. So it's sort of finding that balance. You don't want to hide all vegetables, but there are going to be some that maybe would be nice for them to eat every once in a while. And then there's times where they go through phases where they don't want to eat carrots or broccoli. All right, so let it go let it go for a while, and then you know, try it out again. By the way, that t-shirt?
Thank you. Can we get our picture with you?
Yes. Okay. Teach you finance and how to sort of start your own restaurant and all that kind of good stuff. The ones in Europe do not. They are strictly cooking. That's it. The rest is up, you know, there's no business side at all. So it kind of depends on what you want to, if you have any idea as to what you want to do. If you think you want to do both, then I would stay within the US. If you think that you just want straight cooking, I mean, you know, I think going to Europe is going to give you a bit of a leg up, especially as a female. But it kind of depends on what you're looking to do and the finances, because obviously going abroad is going to be a little more expensive. I'd have to kind of walk in your kitchen and kind of feel it out a little bit. But obviously, I would put the plates not too far away from the stove, so they're easy to get to. Spices should be kind of close, but not too close to the stove because of the heat situation. You don't want any spices and herbs to be too close to the heat, because it makes them go, it makes them bad quicker. So you don't want them far away because you're going to need them, but only put spices and herbs and dried herbs that you use often on a regular basis, that you know you can get through the bottle pretty quickly, near the stove. Anything else, give it some space, and definitely behind a cabinet so that there's no sunlight or direct sunlight on them. Obviously, utensils that you use for cooking should be right by the stove. Any pots and pans, you know, I really like drawers underneath, very close, drawers that open so you can stack things and move them, they kind of move out. That way you can stack double. And I like pots and pans of different sizes so you can stack inside it so they're not just all over the place. I like very organized things. The more organized it is, the easier it is for me to to do my little dance in the kitchen. So you kind of have to feel it out and see what you use most. I like the knives right by, I do the cutting board right by the stove, and the knives are right above it. Just so everything's very easy to grab. The more flow there is in the kitchen, the more cooking you're gonna do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's very personal to to everyone. Sort of changes depending on your style of cooking and how much of it you do. You're so cute. My favorite pasta to make is the one that's Jade's favorite because it makes me happy that she eats it. So I would say it's wagon wheels with pancetta and peas, and the picture's on the back flap of the book. Yeah, good question. My favorite, my chocolate tiramisu. Yeah, in my first cookbook. It's my absolute favorite. It's a little labor intensive and it takes a little bit to make, but the longer it sits, the better it is. And I'm telling you that when you're not having a great day and there's something like that in the fridge, it changes everything. Thanks. You're welcome. You know, I would probably have to say that the one that I, as of right now, and well, so I think that probably Food Network Star, the one it hasn't started airing just yet. It starts May 13th. I think I had one of the best times shooting that show. Honestly, because I had my own team. I got to mentor these 5 people, and ouch, Jade, see them through the process. No, don't. That hurts, honey. That hurts. And Bobby, Alton, and I had really had a great time. And I think that probably that was one of my favorites. And right behind that, probably the Today Show because it's live and I can just get it done. And whatever happens, happens. There's no editing. I don't have to redo anything, even if I didn't do it right. I love my show, but it sure takes a long time to shoot.
Of course, that's fine.
You know, but they're all fun in different ways, I have to say. By the way, I think that's the question everybody wanted to know, just no one wanted to ask. I don't eat a lot of anything. I eat a little bit of everything and not a lot of anything. But I grew up that way. I didn't grow up with huge portions of food. I grew up with a little bit of pasta, and then I'd move on to a little bit of meat, and we didn't eat a lot of anything. And I think it's the portion size. It's not what you're eating, it's how much of it you're eating. That's really what it is. How about what? I eat chocolate. I just don't eat a little bit. A little bit of everything, not a lot of anything. I promise you, it's all about portion size. And a little bit of working out doesn't hurt. When I was growing up, my family had several Filipino ladies that worked with us, and a lot of them cooked for us. Sometimes on weeknights when my family was busy or my parents were, and I grew up eating the Filipino rice and chicken adobo. And they were my 2 favorites. Okay, and so in an effort to revamp weeknight meals and not make Italian food every night for my family, and to make something a little different and introduce different flavors to Jade a little bit at a time, I brought back chicken adobo because it was my favorite when I was a kid. That's how it came about. Well, I work the most with Bobby Flay. So I would say that probably we spend the most time together. I have become very good friends with Alton since we just did Food Star together. And I love Anya. I saw her last summer, and she's fantastic. I do adore her. And lately I've been spending some time with Rachel Ray. So I would say probably all of them. You know, we all, you know, we do projects together, but because I live in Los Angeles, there's a chunk of time where I don't see anyone. You know what I mean? But then there's times where I spend a lot of time with somebody. So I'd say that I talk to all of them. You know, we text back and forth, or now with Twitter, it's like, Alton and I go on Twitter, we go crazy constantly. So there's so many different modes of communication with social media these days that you sort of become closer to people, even if you didn't really want to or mean to. Have I competed on Chopped? No. Have I judged on Chopped? Yes, but you just haven't seen it yet. But you will soon. I really don't want to. I did Iron Chef, and that was enough for me. Losing is not really my game. Of course I do. I'm very good at cleaning my teeth off. No, you know, in the beginning days, I would have food in my teeth and we would have to redo and redo and redo. Nowadays, I know just how to take that bite so that I kind of, not way in the back, but like, so it all gets stuck on the inside. It's an art. I can teach you sometime. Oh boy. A long, long time ago, in a faraway place, no. I started cooking when I was about 5. And for anybody who's Italian out here, you know, or even Greeks or, you know, anybody, cooking is a way of life for us, and you really don't have a choice. So I started when I was 5, and making pizza dough was really my favorite because I loved eating pizza. Go figure. And so my family and my parents, my grandfather made us they would make pizza dough, and then we would have these little pizza parties. And that was sort of my first memory of cooking. But my family was very into it. My grandfather came from a family who had a pasta factory in Naples before World War II. And so there was a long tradition for us. And then they lost it during the war, and my grandfather moved to Rome and became a movie producer. That's how my family started doing that. But truly our legacy is in food. And so he sort of brought that tradition on into my family, and without really knowing he was passing on that passion, I truly connected with it in a way that maybe not everybody in my family did. You know, you never know which kid is going to sort of pick what up. And he practiced with all of us, and it was me, the first grandchild. So there you go. And so that's how it started, and it was something that I found solace in and was really happy in doing growing up. And I also, as an young Italian girl, where I would go to school and I had a different name and I looked different and I didn't speak English in the beginning, I found I built a lot of confidence in the kitchen. You know, so for me that was where I felt the best about myself and where I felt like I really could excel, and that's why it stuck. Every child's totally different. All right, thank you, you guys. Let's start that signing so I can get to all of you. Thank you, thank you. Jade says thank you too.